Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Coffee with Chase, episode 20. I'm your host, Chase. If you're a returning listener, thank you very much for joining me for another lovely episode. If you're a new listener, thank you very much for clicking on this very episode, sitting down, and listening to my nonsense. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit the subscribe or follow button, depending on which platform you use to consume the show. The show is available on both Spotify and YouTube. And make sure to click on the prompts on both platforms to be notified every time I upload a new episode. Oh, wait, you're telling me you already did that? So there was no need to remind you? Well, that was awkward. But thank you for being one step ahead of the game and one step ahead of me. And with that, let's get right into the show. Oh boy, does it feel good to be back talking to you guys. How was everybody's Christmas? I hope everyone had a joyous holiday. Everyone, stayed safe, had a little fun, seen relatives, seen family. Now, I know it was a little out of the ordinary this year, and it was for everybody, but you did your part, you stayed safe, you potentially saved a person's life by just staying inside, staying home, or just staying within your circle. And, before we get into this episode, in typical 2020 fashion, before the clock struck midnight and 2021 started, of course, it didn't leave without a swift kick in the ass. So I implore you to stick around to the end, because I want to give you a little news, and I want to give you my New Year's resolution to hopefully a better year. Hopefully we all get better, we all stay safe, and potentially all see each other again. But, like I said, I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. Mine was a little different than usual, but I was able to see family and see my circle of family that I've seen all year. So we were a little safe, but things were different because I am Polish, and my family has Polish traditions. And so we always gather with cousins, with our extended family, get together and have pierogies. And typically leading up to the Christmas season or holiday season, we genuinely make it a couple-day event. We typically start with having a day or a night just to all get together, have a little fun, drink some water, and make some pierogies, and that's what makes it fun for everybody. And this year, we weren't able to do that, so it did suck, because the last time I remember this happening was never, because I never remembered a year without it was seeing my family, seeing this extended part of family, and it was scary, but I knew we were doing the right thing. We were playing it safe, and like I said, we were just doing the right thing. But it did feel weird, because usually a day or two before Christmas, we would all get together afterwards after making the pierogies. Like I said, it was a multiple day thing, and we would get together, have the pierogies, share laughs, memories, share stories of Christmas past, like this was a Christmas Carol. We would share memories of Christmas past, present, future, everything. But typical 2020 fashion, this wasn't able to happen. But I took a little time to think about it and just realize that yes, this was the correct thing to do. It was bad timing, so we all decided to not get together. Oh, yes, we all decided not to get together because we knew this just wasn't the right timing, wasn't the right thing. And typically, we usually share a little prayer before everything, just asking for good health, good wellness, positivity, hopefully a little money to come our way. Just a prayer to ask for everything from, like I said, happiness, wealth, overall positivity. So hopefully the next year is better and we can all come together once again. Yeah, typical 2020 fashion. This wasn't able to happen, so Christmas was different. That's what I'm trying to get at after this couple minute long rambling session. But yeah, it was a good time. I was able to see my circle of family I've seen all year, so it was nice. It wasn't like I didn't see anybody. I wasn't able to spend Christmas with anyone, but it was nice for the very small gathering we had. And I couldn't be more grateful for that. And so, with this episode, as you can tell by the title, hopefully, that we're going to do a little 2020 recap and look forward to what 2021 has to bring us. Hopefully, knock on wood, it's good. But who knows? I mean, because with 2020, it was a year-long question of who knows what is going to happen. But hopefully 2021 is a lot better and a lot more happy, because 2020 sucked. It sucked. Trust me. For everyone. No race, creed, color, gender was excluded. It sucked for everyone. But, you always have to look at the good in some things. And 2020 brought a lot of good also. And, you may not be able to see it, but it's there. The good is there. And I couldn't be more happy to go into 2021 with open arms. It still feels like it was March of this year. Like, feels like I blinked and it's already the new year. But like I said, just want to do this episode is just a quick 2020 recap to hopefully encapsulate what was in the past, hopefully in the past, and just get past bad things, look forward to good things, and just share memories with everyone. Maybe we'll cry a little. Hopefully we can laugh. Hopefully we can have a good time. And, I really do implore you to stick around to the very end because I have some words I would like to share with everybody. And so, thank you again for always sticking by me. Hopefully we can all get through this, and hopefully we can all look forward to a brand new, better year. To begin, I'd like to start in the month of January, because that's where shit really hit the fan and things had started falling into place. I don't know if that's the correct words to use, but it wasn't really where protocols started and things were put into place and safety things were set. There was just a few events that really sparked this year of infamy and a year of total suck for everybody. But to begin, I believe it was January 1st, if I'm not mistaken. But to those of you who may know, in episode 11, Cutting Ties, there was a figure that had been looming in my life since I was born, really. And that figure had tried to reach out to me. And keep in mind, I never, ever have spoken or heard from this figure before. And so this was very odd, to say the least. It was strange because I questioned why now. But first, I implore you to finish this episode, and after you finish this episode, go back and listen to episode 11, Cutting Ties, so you can get the full story and multiple things that have happened since, so you can have a full, complete understanding of what my mindset is and what really has been happening. I feel like that is one of, or if not, my realest, rawest episodes yet. But this is what this whole show is about, just being real, being raw, being open with everyone. No bullshit, none of that. And after this event happened, it wasn't even a couple days afterwards where Uncut Gems, I'm talking about the Adam Sandler movie Uncut Gems, almost ended my life. Now, you may think, whoa, slow your roll here. What are you talking about? So let me tell you this story. This day was weird. Absolutely weird from start to finish. Because we typically don't really go out when it's bad outside. We, meaning me and my girlfriend. And we didn't really like being stuck in the house. And so we decided, hey, let's go out, get some dinner, maybe see a movie afterwards. And so we went to this local mall in Western New York. And this mall has been known recently to be bad. Not bad as in violence, mischief, and all that stuff, but bad as in this mall only has a handful of stores left and is hanging by a thread. And so there's a movie theater in that mall that is known to have cheap price ticket movies and occasionally shows new movies, old movies, and movies in between. But today, on this day, they were showing Uncut Gems, the new Adam Sandler movie, and one of his best movies he's ever made. And so that day seemed a little off. Kind of had a feeling it wasn't, I don't know, the right thing to do, right thing to go out. And so we went out. We decided, hey, let's park on the one side of the mall where the movie theater is, because we were trying to do the math, and we decided that if we time this correctly, by the time we finish eating, the movie is a couple minutes, or if not 10-20 minutes afterwards. So we'll park on the side of the mall with the movie theater, and then we'll walk to this restaurant on the other side. And this was almost around closing time for the mall. So this was, this was weird because we didn't realize they barricade entrances to the mall that have, we just didn't realize there was barricades to the entrances on certain sides of the mall. And so after we finish eating, we try walking through the mall to get to the other end of the mall with the movie theater and the side we parked on, and we tried to walk through this barricade, and the security came over the loudspeaker and said, not happening, the mall's closed. So on this day, it was very chilly, very cold, and it started snowing just a little bit before the movie started. And so we had to walk out of the one side with the restaurant on it, make the treacherous path around the entire mall. And it was cold as sin, and I don't know how we did that. And my girlfriend noticed there was an entrance to the mall that wasn't locked. And so we decided maybe we can go through this door and walk to our car, and hopefully security won't see us. And so we went through it. We made it not even 20 feet until there's a security guard that asked us, "Hey, what are you doing?" He said. And we said, "Well, we're just trying to get to our car, and it's on the other end of the mall where the movie theater is." And so we had to walk around the entire mall to get to this end to potentially get to our car. And he said, "Okay, no problem. Just go straight to your car. Don't worry about walking around the entire mall." And so he let us do that. And so we decided, you know what? Let's go straight to the movie theater instead and sit there, waste a little time, and wait until the movie starts. And so, we wasted time. We went and sat in the movie theater. And it was strange because the theater was having some mishaps and malfunctions, and it wasn't playing visuals, just audio. I mean, the movie hadn't started yet, and it was just like commercials and advertisements. And so we were joking back and forth, me and my girlfriend, and we were like, "Oh man, this movie theater is really going downhill." And I'm not the one who typically likes to say bad things about certain stuff without, knocking on wood and, saying something else. And so I kind of had a weird feeling. I'm like, okay, this is a little strange, kind of bad I said it without knocking on wood or anything. And so I'm like, oh, maybe we'll be the only two people in the theater and no one else will show up. But, as it got a little closer to the movie start time, we sat there and then people filed into the theater. We weren't alone. It was at least half of the theater, because I believe at this time the movie had been out for a couple months and it was well received. It was a well received movie. And so I'm like, okay, cool. And the movie started, and I loved the movie. Like, I thought this was one of Adam Sandler's best movies he's ever put out. This was a complete and utter shift in the direction he's always been going with the comedy, kind of sad movies sometimes, and romance movies. And this was a very serious, I wouldn't say sinister, but like almost a dark movie out of the ordinary for Adam Sandler. And so the movie had ended, and it was strange because there was a theater attendant standing outside of where the movie was, out of our auditorium. And the attendant had relayed to us that it had snowed tremendously and to be very careful exiting and driving home. So we're like, shit. We had kind of had a feeling this was going to happen, but we didn't realize it was going to snow this bad. And so when we walk out of the theater, it was like a winter wonderland. Yes, it did look pretty because it was very quiet. There was really no other cars in the parking lot besides like the people that were at this movie. And so we're like, we just got to be careful driving to the theater, taking our time, and just being careful. And so, yeah, I mean, we left the theater, started driving home, and this was scary, to say the least, because typically I don't like traveling in snowstorms and when it's bad outside, because sometimes things are out of your control, and that's what we really learned in 2020. Things are out of our control, and we need to learn how to just roll with the punches and take things as they come. I believe that encapsulates 2020 as a whole, just rolling with the punches and taking things as they come. But on our drive home, we took our time. We were careful. We did everything we could to just be safe. And it came down to it. We were about not even a couple minutes from home. We took this usual street that we always do. It's a little bit of a shortcut to get home. And so the street is a little windy, a little messy, because this isn't one of the well-kept streets. This isn't a really well, what's the word? Shit. I'm sorry. Paved street? No, not paved, but when plows come plowed. Oh my God, plowed. But this isn't one of the best plowed streets there is. And with the amount of snowfall that fell that night, it was not looking good. And so, like I said, the street was very windy, and we had to take a turn. And little did we know, that turn almost, I wouldn't say ended our lives, but that one turn turned out to be the scariest turn we've ever took. Because when it comes down to driving during the winter season, you have to be very careful, and you have to look out for black ice. And it was scary, because that's exactly what we hit. We hit a patch of black ice, and on this street there are multiple telephone poles and multiple telephone poles standing on the left-hand side. And we were taking a right-hand turn, and we hit the ice, and my girlfriend did everything she could to control the car from sliding. And it was scary, because I can hear her panicking. I can hear her voice trembling, calling my name. And as we got closer to hitting the pole, I closed my eyes because I didn't want to see it coming. And so I closed my eyes. I embraced for impact, and I felt the car hit the pole. And that moment was scary. Really scary, because I've never heard anything like that. And when we hit the pole on the passenger side. And my immediate worry was not of myself, but of my girlfriend. because immediately after I felt my head ricochet back and forth, my first instinct was to look over to my girlfriend to make sure she was okay. Because out of these past 7 years, I've done everything in my power to protect and take care of this woman and just love her. And, it turns out she was okay. And her immediate worry was of myself, because she'd never wanted anything to happen to me as well. And besides some bumps and bruises and suffering some whiplash for the next couple weeks, we turned out okay. The car was not. And if you follow our Instagram page, I always post little clips of the show on there with photos to go along with it. And so I will clip this story, and share with you the scariest picture I've ever taken in my life. Because not even being a minute or two away from home and getting into an accident was the hardest thing ever. Because that's always where most accidents happen. And if you have listened to episode 13, Coffee with Friends, I'm joined by my friend Liam, and I tell the story of my first accident, driving in the snow, doing everything I can to be careful, and getting into my first accident not even a couple minutes away from home. And it's scary because that's always where they say most accidents happen. And so I beg everyone, just be careful driving during the winter season and just taking your time. Don't speed. Drive a little below the speed limit and just be careful. And so yes, like I was saying, we escaped the wreck with only a couple bumps and bruises, some whiplash to go along with it. And fast forward a little, January 25th, we celebrated my girlfriend's birthday. This was a very joyous occasion because we were able to go out, have some fun, and it was strange because during the winter season in Buffalo, we get predictions of snow 8 months out of the year. Bad weather 8 months out of the year. And in January, it's one of the most snowiest times we have. And it was strange because we didn't have any snow that day. And so we were able to go out. We went to a better local mall and we went to the Cheesecake Factory. And oh my God, do I love the Cheesecake Factory. It wasn't my birthday, but my girlfriend chose it. I had some lemon raspberry cheesecake. Chef's kiss. That is, to me, one of their best cheesecakes they have to offer. But anyways, we had a great time celebrating her birthday and just having fun. Because to start January, it sucked. It fucking sucked. And it was good to just have this joyous occasion and just celebrate life. And so her birthday passed. Fast forward to the next day, January 26th. And this day to me will live on forever in infamy because January 26th is the day of the Kobe Bryant Calabasas helicopter crash. And I remember that day very vividly because Kobe Bryant was one of my idols growing up, if not my top idol growing up. And that day was no day out of the ordinary. It was your typical January 26th. I forget which day it fell on. Please forgive me. But I remember just me and my girlfriend being tired from the day before, celebrating her birthday, going out, doing a bunch of things. and we decided to take a nap just to recharge our batteries. And, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. I woke up, my girlfriend was on her phone just scrolling through socials, and she had told me with remorse and questioning, and she told me Kobe Bryant had passed away. And I'm just like, what? Are you bullshitting me? Am I getting punked? Like, what's going on? And she showed me the tweet, and I knew immediately this news was real, and this was not trolls trying to mess with people. That ESPN reporter Adrian Wojnarowski had reported that Kobe Bryant had passed away in a helicopter crash, and news of that crash was not forthcoming. So all we knew is that this helicopter was carrying Kobe Bryant and I believe 9 other passengers, and everybody on that crash had tragically passed away. And tragically, we slowly found out that numerous people aboard that helicopter were young, had their lives ahead of them, and they all tragically passed away. Along with Kobe, his daughter Gianna Bryant was also on that plane, and the crash also took the lives of Peyton Chester, Sarah Chester, Alyssa Altobelli, Ken Altobelli, and John Altobelli, along with Christina Mauser and the helicopter's pilot, Ara Zobayan. And this was a utter shock to sports fans alike and just regular everyday people, because without knowing it, Kobe Bryant touched many lives. Without you knowing it, as you shoot a piece of paper into the garbage, or as you shoot stuff into your laundry bin, you utter the word Kobe, because you're taking that shot just like Kobe took all of his shots, without hesitation and with straight confidence. And it's weird because I just got chills saying all that, and it still doesn't feel real to me because it still feels like yesterday. And if you don't mind, I like to share with you what I shared on social media, just remembering Kobe and remembering everything he did for, like I said, sports fans and everybody alike. And this is what I said on the day he passed away. As time passes, we all develop role models. These role models guide, teach, and mold who we are today. For multiple decades, you were a visionary in the game, becoming a true role model and mentor for those who currently play and lead the entire NBA. Your legacy will never be touched. Sometimes we are left with questions unanswered. This is definitely one. But as the light fades and as the day turns to the next, this is one question we will never be able to answer ourselves. The world is hurting right now. Your legacy will never excuse me. Your legacy will forever live on through your wife and kids. May you forever rest in peace. We love you, Kobe. I'm sorry, I just had to take a moment there to collect my thoughts because I was starting to lose my emotions just thinking about the crash and the fact that we're already coming on the year anniversary of this happening. Now, it is multiple weeks away still, but just knowing that January 26th, it's already been a year anniversary of this tragic accident that claimed multiple lives and stripped families of loved ones and friends and sons and daughters and mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles. It's very scary, but 2020 brought us a lot of tragedies and a lot of moments we will never, ever, ever forget. That's what 2020 will forever be known by and will forever live by in our memory. And, just take the time out of your day and call a loved one, text a loved one, and just thank them for being in your life. Just reconnect with them, send them a text and just say, I love you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And just thank you for being there. But as we rolled into February, nothing out of the ordinary really started happening, but there was rumblings of the coronavirus making its way into the United States. And it was scary to think about because, we always thought, oh, this won't happen. It won't get over here. It won't touch us. But it slowly crept its way into the States and came into New York, where New York became one of the most highly dense, most populated area with the most coronavirus positive cases. And just the fact that, still to this day, I don't believe first responders and emergency people aren't getting the amount of respect and dedication they deserve from nurses, EMTs, doctors, assistants, firefighters, policemen, even like the National Guard, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. Like, they put their lives on the line to save others. And the fact that at this time we weren't prepared for a pandemic and we lost a ton of lives. And that's what 2020 also brought, was a lot of tragic passings. And within the first 2 weeks of February, we lost another life, a very young life. We lost the rapper formerly known as Pop Smoke. He tragically passed away on February 19th at the age of 20. He was an artist I never really heard of, but after learning of his passing, I became known of his music, and he tragically passed away from he fatally was shot and tragically passed away. And just like I said, 2020 was filled with nothing but darkness, with evil, with an overwhelming cloud of depression and anxiety. It was scary, to say the least. But then we rolled into March. Things happened, and please forgive me, I won't touch on a lot of things because it isn't my place, and I'm not the person to speak on these things. But from March, it almost feels like it was just the blink of an eye, and here was January. No, here was December, and it was already Christmas time. But numerous things had happened during this 7-month span, I believe it was. 7, I think. please forgive me. I'm not good at math. I'm not good at all of these things. I'm not good at remembering sometimes. But yeah, like this time had passed, and I, started this podcast, celebrated an anniversary, celebrated a birthday, spent time with family and loved ones, and just was able to become a me I never saw coming. Celebrate things I never thought I'd celebrate, and reconnect with old friends, make new friends, and become a better me. Like I said, I never thought there was going to be, and I never saw coming, because we all had to focus on our mental health this year, and I really took that time to focus on my mental health and figure out outlets I could take, things I can do to help better myself and help me deal with things I've never been able to deal with before. And so, to everybody out there dealing with depression and anxiety, just know it's January 2021. We all made it through 2020, and we all got past this bullshit year we all had to be put through. So we all did it. We all got through it, and we all became a better self. Future me butting in here, but I'm in the process of listening back to this whole episode just to make sure everything sounds okay. But there's one thing I forgot to mention, because I'm wearing the t-shirt and I completely forgot all about it, and I forgot to mention it. And hopefully this sounds correctly put into place here, but 2021, I swear to God, if you take Betty White from us, this year, 2021, will officially go down as the worst year there ever was. Because no one will ever touch Betty White. She is a living icon, a living legend, and her career is untouchable. So 2021, do not, and I beg you, do not touch Betty White. I know I said a lot of stuff happened in 2020, and it's not really my place to say anything about everything, because it's just not. And, I just want to be respectful of everyone who had tragically passed away this year, everything that has affected anyone. I just want to say I am so incredibly sorry for everything 2020 has brought all of us. Hopefully 2021 will be better for each and every individual. But like I said in the beginning, I implored you to make it to the very end of this episode and just stick with it, because I wanted to give you guys a very personal message. To start, 2020 has been horrible but incredible at the same time, because I did something that I never seen coming. I never thought I would have the guts, I would say the balls, but I never had the balls of doing this, but I always had it in the back of my mind. Creating this podcast has been one of the most incredible things I have ever done with my life, because I am becoming the person I'd never seen coming. I'm becoming such a better individual overall and in many aspects. And being able to reconnect with old friends, make new friends, and just help individuals along their journey of self-discoverment, along the journey of dealing with depression, anxiety. Like, I still can't put into words how much it feels, and I just want to be as raw and as open as I can with everybody. But these past 6 months of creating something that I never seen coming has been such a unimaginable roller coaster ride of ups and downs, of memories, of stories, of a collective of my personal journey that you decided to sit down and listen to. And I will forever be grateful and indebted to every single one of you for taking the time out of your day, sitting down, pressing play, and listening to something you might like and you might not like. But the fact that you took the time out of your day to listen to me talk and ramble for however many minutes at a time, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and thank you for listening to this show. And, you know, in the beginning I said that there was some news I had to share with you. No, it's not. The show is coming to an end, but right before we roll into the new year, in typical 2020 fashion, 2020 handed me a little gut punch. In the past couple days, someone I love, someone close to me, had contracted the coronavirus and is still dealing with it. But the fact that I couldn't protect this person and take care of them hurts, because I've always had the feeling of like, you know, I gotta protect this person, I gotta take care of them, I gotta do everything in my power to protect them at all costs. But you know, I have to learn how to roll with the punches, because you can't protect things that are out of your control. You can't protect people from things you can't see and you can't control. That's what 2020 has really been. But, you know, things are looking better. This person is getting a little better, feeling a little more like themselves. And, you know, things are looking on the up and up. So I'm incredibly grateful for that, because COVID has slapped the faces of many people and took many of lives. And, you know, it's very scary to deal with. And I'm still awaiting my results. I got tested, so hopefully I can find out within the next couple days. Maybe by the time you're listening to this, who knows? But, you know, since it's the new year, I got to make my New Year's resolution, and hopefully this is something I can stick to and stick with, because a lot of people know New Year's resolutions typically go untouched after the first week or two, or even after the first couple days. But, you know, this year like I said, we had to sit down and really focus on mental health. And over the past couple weeks, this resolution came to me, and you know, I realized I can't keep focusing on making people try to like me, going out of my way for people to like me. I gotta just present myself to someone and have them take it from there and choose whether or not they like me for who I am. And in a roundabout way, I guess I'm just trying to say, like, my resolution is, you know, just be yourself and stop trying to force people to like you, and stop trying to go out of your way to have people come to you and be your friend. Just be you. Be yourself and be honest with, you know, who you are, and just yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I mean, I hope everyone is having a safe and wonderful new year. Just remember, if you're spending it alone and you're seeing people post about spending with friends online, you are doing the right thing. And you are potentially saving lives and protecting people. And that's all we can ever really ask for. And you are doing the right thing. So don't feel sad that you're not going out and being at these parties. At the end of the day, like I said, you are doing the right thing and you are saving lives. So thank you so much for doing your part.
Make me wanna shout.
Of course, I had to end the year off right. Welcome back to the Bills Backer Corner, where we provide predictions, projections, and spoilers. We bring you good news. The Buffalo Bills dominated the New England Patriots with a score of 38-9 last week. Now, if you listened to last week's edition of the Bills Backers Corner, my prediction was pretty spot on, with a score of Buffalo 32 to the Patriots 17. So if you think about it, I was that close to being correct, but I had no clue the Bills are going to dominate in such fashion. But in typical 2020 fashion, this is something we never seen coming, and that's the Bills beating the Patriots twice in 1 year. Now, if my memory is correct, during the broadcast, they stated that this is the first time the Bills beat the Patriots twice in one season since the start of the new millennium. Holy shit. Crazy, right? But we also never seen this coming. The Bills becoming AFC East champions for the first time in 25 years. And boy, does it feel good to say champions. Now, it's not yet the champions we hope it's going to be. We hope it's going to be Super Bowl champions. But we'll take AFC East champions as a start. But it feels good to say AFC East champions. That has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? But this coming week, we can't take it lightly. Week 17 against the Miami Dolphins. This game is in Buffalo and has a start time of 1 p.m. Now, we're not predicted to get any snowfall this Sunday, I believe. It's supposed to be, I believe, cloudy with a little chance of rain, but it's going to be good weather, typical Buffalo winter weather. So it's going to be in our element. There is going to be no fans in the stands, but I see this as being a rest game for our starters. Almost like a preseason game where they throw in the first stringers for a drive or two, maybe even a quarter, just to get them prepared, get them the reps, and then they see what the second and third stringers have to offer. Now, I believe this game is going to be close, but this game is important because this will determine our seeding in the playoffs. I see the Bills winning this game, but not by much. The Dolphins have been a formidable opponent for many this season. So, my prediction is the Bills win with a score of 21-17. Like I said, not by much, but the Bills take the victory, and hopefully they come out of this week unscathed and no injuries. And unfortunately, last week against the Patriots, we suffered a tremendous loss for the team, but this is nothing we can't bounce back from. Our wide receiver, Cole Beasley, my favorite Buffalo Bill, hands down, and potentially of all time, had went down with, I believe, a lower body injury. I think it has something to do with his leg, and he might potentially be out for the entire postseason. And if we do make the Super Bowl, potentially he can come back for that. But the Bills have been having wide receivers come in for physicals to potentially sign them. So hopefully it won't be that big of a loss, but Cole Beasley has been Josh Allen's blanket for this entire season. Every wide receiver the Bills have been having tremendous, record-breaking, best seasons of their career. So Cole Beasley, please get well soon. We love you. Buffalo loves you. You have been doing everything you can for the city of Buffalo since you arrived here. So thank you. And hopefully, after the Bills win with a score of 21-14, they take the momentum they have into the playoffs and welcome, yes, I said welcome, 6,700 fans into the stands. Yes, New York State has announced, not even a couple days ago, that fans will be allowed to attend the Bills' home playoff game. Hallelujah. Praise Jesus. Holy shit. Where's the Tylenol? Because this has been a rocky season, to say the least, with back and forth from New York State saying Bills fans won't be allowed at all to attend anything. But now, because the Bills make the playoffs and are New York's only team, let me say that, only team to make the playoffs, now the Bills fans are allowed. But it's going to be amazing to see fans in the stands and give the Bills that spark, that momentum, the Bills Mafia power to continue their tremendous ride this season. And, just take forward all this energy and just win, baby. Just win, baby, win. Do it for Ralph Wilson Jr. and do it for the Bills Mafia and do it for Bills Mafia that won't be able to attend. But please, for the fans in attendance, please do this safely. Please cheer on from socially distanced seating and enjoy the game. Get loud and go crazy, because this is the first Bills home playoff game since 1996, the year I was born. Okay, Bills fans, Bills Mafia, Buffalo Bills, thank you for what you have done for the city of Buffalo this season. You have been working your ass off and providing us with football we never seen coming before. So thank you to Sean McDermott, to Josh Allen, to Terry Pagula, to Stephon Diggs. This season will go down in Bills history as one of our best. And hopefully we can take that momentum and ride that momentum. As always, with that, I want to say thank you for joining me for another week. And thank you once again. Another episode and another vent session. The fact that you made it this far with me is astounding. I am really forever grateful. Here's to happy health, mental depression, and anxiety awareness, and an overall feeling of self-empowerment. If you enjoyed what you listened to today, make sure you go back and listen to our catalog of episodes. And make sure you subscribe on both platforms. The show is available on both Spotify and YouTube. And please also make sure to hit the notification prompts on both platforms so you're notified every time I upload a brand new episode. I will talk to everyone next week. Remember to always remind yourself you made it this far, you're doing the best you can, and things will get better. Please, everyone, stay safe, be careful, hug your loved ones, tell them you love them, and reconnect with old friends. Send a text message you would have never thought to send, because you never know if it will help someone and help someone dealing with whatever they're going through. So, like I said, just be safe, be careful, and all that good stuff. I love everyone. I'll talk to you next week. All right, bye.